What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and we've been linked with several players over the last couple of days, but one of the things that broke last night was apparently that Everton are holding talks with Koulibaly. Again, I'm fed up of this rumour. Look, I'm fed up of it. It's just, if we haven't got the money for a left back, for a right back, where are we getting 30 odd million for a centre back? Mason Holgate has been linked with a move to Brighton. I was told that the weekend. And, you know, Mason Holgate and Brighton's probably a good fit. They need a centre-back. He's young and athletic. Doesn't necessarily always have the footballing brain, maybe. But, you know, he can be a decent centre-back on his day and probably would fit well at Brighton. But going and getting Koulibaly, who's 29 or 30 years old, we've got bigger pressing issues than the centre of defence. You know, we've got Yuri Mina, we've got Michael Keane, we've got Ben Godfrey, we've got Mason Holgate, if you want to throw him in there. That's four. It's certainly two very good centre backs, one decent centre back and one probably slightly below average. You know, it's a decent mix. Plus, we've got the young lads. I know Gibson's going out on loan, but Branthwaite, if he stays, we're not short in centre back department, so it doesn't make sense. Especially when we need Dumfries, and Inter Milan apparently are going to sign Dumfries for 15 million because they need a replacement for Hakimi, although that doesn't make sense because he's a right back. But I think Koulibaly is probably the last thing we need. You know, when I look at that team and I look going forward, I want to see us trying to break teams down. And one of the things that we saw at Man United was, you know, we were fine when we had the ball and we were pushing forward, but I just don't think we could. We didn't have anyone in the middle that sort of could get on the ball. I was speaking to Saeed from Saeed TV. Obviously, he's a big Man United fan, 33,000 subs or whatever it is. And I sort of sit there and I was... You know, I sort of have to take it. And when you look at the Manchester United midfield and you look at ours, obviously theirs is better, but it's worlds apart. Like, it's worlds apart. And for a team that wanted to be challenging, we're nowhere near. So, I think a right back is key. You know, I'm hating being linked with all of these players because it is so important we get a right back. James Rodriguez has again been linked with a move away. And whether that happens or not, I'm sort of fed up of rumours at this point. You know, and some of the people were saying that I was jumping on Rafa's back yesterday as well. I'm not. Rafa's got as much time as he wants. The issue you're going to have with Rafa is it's going to be very quick for fans to turn on him because of the Liverpool connection, which is right or wrong in some people's eyes. But it's very difficult to get behind a manager who has bad results and a bad history, if you get what I mean. Whereas you can almost support someone who doesn't have that same history. So, look, I want Rafa to do well. I don't want Everton to fail in anything, but I'm really concerned that we are nowhere near where I expect or think we should be. And I really do think we should be further up the league every season, and we should be since Moshiri walked in. I think the recruitment's been poor. I mentioned it yesterday, won't go into it again. So, you know, it's fine being linked with these players like Koulibaly and whoever else. But, yeah, I question it. Another player that I was thinking about the other day was a couple of years ago, we were linked with a player called Malcolm who went to Barcelona. I think it was from Porto. We were linked with him really heavily. And that's the sort of player you might be able to go and get on loan. You know, we can't get into the Barcelona team. I don't know where he is. But maybe that's the sort of player you can go and approach and maybe, I don't know, get to play 30 games a season. I know he's had his injuries as well, but what I'm saying is there's players out there available on loan that potentially we can tap into. Another player is Zuma. If you really want a new centre-back, I think Zuma is better than Holgate. Go and get Zuma. You know, ask Chelsea if they can do a loan with a view to a deal or something like that. I said exactly the same on Kieran Rant's channel yesterday. I said I suspect that if Inter don't buy Dumfries, Everton will get him on a loan with an option to buy at the end of the season or an obligation to buy at the end of the season. That's what we need. Going forward, we need players who identify with the club, who want to do well with the club, who can be managed by a manager who is more than capable of managing in the Premier League. You know, he did a decent job with Newcastle. He won trophies at Chelsea, and he obviously won trophies at Liverpool as well with the Champions League. So, look, this is a manager who knows what it takes to win. It's just whether he's still got it, and it's whether he can do it with an Everton side who, quite frankly, aren't used to winning and do not have the right mentality. You know, we're getting up to almost 40 years, I think, really, since we were competitive in the league. 35 years competitive in the league. You know, we were, in terms of the top positions, we're getting up to, since 1995, you know, we're getting up to 30 years since we won a trophy. It's too long. You know, it's just too long. And Everton Football Club, we sort of sit there dormant. And when Moshiri come in, we were all really excited, and nothing's happened. Nothing's happened. We've gone backwards, and I think now is the time for us to say, look, yeah, it could be a rough season this season, and if it is, it is. You know, just because I'm saying it's a rough season and I'm worried about this season, doesn't mean I'm not going to support the Boyz, it was funny in some of the comments that I read yesterday. I at no point have not supported our football team, so I was a little bit confused. Some of the comments, because I want us to do well. It's not like I'm sitting here going, we're shit, we're going to lose every game, we're going to get relegated. I'm not saying that. I just think it could be a difficult season for us. You know, I'm going to do my Premier League predictions video probably Wednesday or Thursday, but I think we're going to finish about 12th. Now, you can take that negative or positive as much as you want. Some people are saying we could get relegated. Some people are saying we could challenge for Europe. Literally, the comments that I read in yesterday's video was like so far between. It was really scary to see how sort of distant people's opinions are from an Everton fan perspective. You know, we genuinely do have people who believe we can challenge Europe, and we genuinely have people who think we'll go down. And that's scary. You know, whatever your opinion is, it doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong or you're right or whatever. I've never seen it so distant. I've never seen opinions so distant, and that does worry me. With James Rodriguez, obviously, he's been linked with a move away. It's been linked with a move away for months now. Same as Moise Kean. You know, literally, as soon as Ancelotti left, Moise Kean was leaving. James Rodriguez was leaving. Even Allen was leaving at one point. And look, if James is leaving, he's leaving. Like, I want him to stay. I want him to want to play for Everton Football Club, and I don't get the vibes that he's rocking the boat. I'm not saying he wants to be at Everton, but he's equally not rocking the boat to leave, which I admire, because he is a player with a good name, good reputation. He's known in Europe, and he doesn't appear to be grumbling. He's just getting on with his job. Maybe not necessarily speaking to people, maybe not mingling with the squad as much as usual, but he's at least not coming out to his agent and saying, make it public in the papers that I want to leave, that the training's rubbish, or stuff like that, which we've seen before. Romelu Lukaku, every time he went and played for Belgium, he would slag off Everton every single time. So we're not seeing that with James. Moise Kean's slightly different, because if he was going to PSG, it looks very likely that PSG are going to sign Messi, which if they sign Messi, what happens to Moise Kean? Where's he going? It looks like Inter Milan could lose Martinez to Tottenham. Great signing for Spurs. And obviously that would probably suggest Harry Kane's joining Manchester City. But they've also lost Lukaku to Chelsea. So you've got Inter leading a striker. It really would not surprise me if they approach Moise Kean. And you know, if they're going to offer the money that we know they're going to have, 40 million, then he goes all day. No problem, no issues with me. So I'm really hopeful that towards the end of this transfer window, we're going to start getting our ducks in a row. You know, our I's dotted, our T's crossed, and we can go forward, because at the minute it's a real challenge. Over the next couple of days, we've got Rose and Millsy coming on the channel as well, and we'll have Sweet and Sour Soccer coming on as well. Callum might be back. I need to speak to Callum to see what's going on, but there's lots of content coming up, guys, irrespective of being on holiday. These videos are 10 minutes long. I have no problem doing them. More than enjoying it. Season starts this week. Match preview will be Thursday. And obviously match reaction will be Saturday, because I won't be at the game, unfortunately. John's at the game, so I'm going to see if he can record a few bits for me as part of the video, which would be great if he can WhatsApp them through to me, so I will ask him that. And yeah, apart from that, guys, look, I'm going to love and leave you. Have a glorious Monday. Weather's all right here today. It's all right. Not sunburnt or anything, but it's all right. Going down to the beach in a minute. And yeah, peace.